Would you like to start with a statement about the weekend?
Obviously, Saturday was much better than Friday. Thought our team was much more engaged, committed to what we were doing, and results speak for themselves.
Seven goals on Saturday. Was your team angry? And you
Well,
angry?
yeah, I mean, we did not play well on Friday. A lot of it to do with what Ferris did to us. They played really well, and we didn't feel like we showed our best on Friday, and so we were determined to change the script, if you will.
A quick question from Ryan Stieg. Friday, that bad start, 3 goals in the first period. Was it more Ferris State was more ready, or was it you guys maybe weren't as ready?
Friday night, we only gave up 1 goal in the first. I thought we outshot them 18-8 in the first period. Thought we actually played really well. Turnover that caused their first goal, one that I know Trotz would want back. Second period, once we got a little loose in our structure, they took advantage of it, kind of got away from us. That's really what happened. We turned the puck over pretty much the entire second period, which at this level, if you turn the puck over, it's going to cost you. And we left Trotz hanging a few times, a couple of 2-on-0s and a 3-on-1, and then a power play goal. So I actually thought we started off the game really well on Friday. We just didn't have an answer in the second period and got away from us. But so again, Saturday, we were determined to start the game off right again, and then try to finish it off, play 60 minutes.
Rico, you mentioned your goaltending. I joke about it, but your goalies have traded. Who's going to get the award this month? Just what kind of advantage does that have you, or are you more of a guy who doesn't like to think about it and likes to just find one guy and settle on it?
No, again, I think I've said this the entire season. You need competition at every position. That's how guys develop. That's how you bring out the best in everybody. Sometimes it works out where you have one guy. Right now we have 2 guys, and every week in practice, they make it hard for us to pick which one's going to play. And as long as they're both playing at a high level, then I think we owe it to both of them to continue to play them. And our team feels comfortable in front of both of them. In my experience, over the years, we've had 2 goalies run right to the Frozen Four and win championships. So at some point, someone's probably going to take over. Things happen. It's a long season. But if you put your eggs all in one basket, sometimes it backfires. Right now, we have 2 guys going, and we have a third guy that's pretty darn good, and we're not even playing him right now.
Biggest adjustments made between Friday and Saturday. On Friday, it seemed like a lot of trouble gaining zones or keeping the zones. Is that something you let the players self-adjust, or is it something you guys address?
I mean, ultimately, you manage your own performance as an individual. And so the game plan is the game plan. But if your mindset's not right, and you're not engaged, and you're not committed to playing that game, then that's when things go south. I think the difference between Friday and Saturday for us is we were willing to play that game. The mindset was right from the get-go. Guys were committed to playing the game the right way as a team. And when you do that, good things happen. When you start playing loose and start cheating the game, things aren't going to go well. Then you leave things to chance. And, as I told the guys, I'm not a gambling kind of guy. I don't want to gamble with our success or whatever we want this year. We need to go out and play determined hockey and play the right way and play together.
Matt Byers,
Yeah, go ahead.
Matt Byers with the career night on Saturday. Can you talk a little bit what he means to the Bombies?
Well, I think Mac is part of the leadership group that we have. And so I think Friday night, the leadership group was not happy. And they needed to come out on Saturday and lead the way. And so Mac and Wallen, Gower, Prokop, Leyland, all the guys that are part of that leadership group came out determined. And it was nice to see.
We're 3 years into this thing. Do you have an arch rival, and is it MSU? With you've had some pretty legendary games against them, including outside in the snowstorm, and
Yeah, we're 2.5 years in,
yeah.
but I mean, ultimately, they're a team in our state and an hour and 20 minutes away. They've been the best team in our conference, dating back to the old WCHA. So they've been on top of their game for the last 10 years, and we look forward to the challenge. They're still have a lot of weapons. I don't care what anybody says. They're still probably the team in our league right now to beat them in Tech, and we need to come ready to go on Friday.
I was going to ask, I don't know how deep into scouting you are at this point in the week, but is a Luke Strand team notably different than a Mike Hastings team?
I don't think I've gotten too deep in that yet, but I know Luke. He's a really good coach. I know he'll have him ready. Obviously, there's some different things they do on power play and PK and things like that, but that's true for anybody. So, and that really varies from year to year, to be honest with you. So we'll do a little bit more of a deep dive here today and follow up with our team as the week goes along. But I look forward to playing a really good college hockey team. That's, I know what the media says about them at the beginning of the year, but you can throw those things out the window.
Special teams. The power play 7 for 19, the last 4, 37%, and the PK 11 for 12 for 92%. What are the biggest differences you're seeing in the power play and penalty kill?
I mean, I think that just like anything else, we continue to work on it and you get better at it. Guys feel more comfortable. We were getting really good looks for many, many games and we just weren't scoring. Now the puck's going in the net. So to me, at the end of the day, again, those are all just numbers. They need to be timely. For me, a timely power play goal, which gives you a 2-goal lead or a 3-goal lead or gets you back in the game. Those are things that I look at. The stats are great at the end of the year to look at, but we're not looking at those right now. We need to make sure that we're gaining momentum on both sides of special teams. We had some really good kills on Saturday where they could have made it 4-2, 4-3, or 3-1, 3-2, and we killed it. And that's important. That's momentum. Our power play right off the bat in the second period, it was 3-1. We got a power play. We score. It's 4-1. Now it's a little bit more out of reach, right? So the timeliness of those power plays and those penalty kills are really important. And that's what I look at.
Some people believe you do your best work the day before you go on vacation. How do you manage when you're going into a break? How do you manage to keep them focused on playing 2 hockey games and not think about 3 weeks off?
It's Mankato, period. If you can't get up for Mankato, then we're in big trouble. We have things that we need to accomplish this week in practice, and we'll focus on that. And then we'll play our best Friday and Saturday, and then we'll worry about our vacation after that. We've got exams coming up. There's lots to do. It's really not that long of a break in the big picture of things. And we're right back at it right after Christmas on a road trip. So, and then the second half, to be honest with you, we don't have any weeks off. We have a couple of weeks where we have 1 game, exhibition games, but we have no break. So I know the guys are looking forward to playing this weekend and then getting their exams done, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, you're back at it the 29th. I mean, you bring them in like with Christmas Day, or how are you going to schedule it?
No, we'll bring them back on the 26th. The nice thing about having mostly Twin City boys is that they have ice time anywhere across the city and with their high school teams and stuff like that. So we don't feel like the need to bring them back at Christmas. We'll have a couple of 3 practices before we play Vermont and a lot of practice after that.
All right. Any questions from Trent in the Zoom? Yeah, coach, just kind of looking at the league more of in a broader aspect, there's 6 points separating those top 6 teams. And obviously you guys are at the top right now. 2 months into the season, what do you sort of take away from how evenly competitive this league is night in and night out?
Well, exactly that, Trent. It's a competitive league. It's tough to win on the road. It's tough to win at home. Everybody's well coached. Everybody's got one or two lines that are really good, and the goaltending, I think, in our league is fantastic. To be honest with you, from top to bottom, everybody has one or two goaltenders that are just lights out every week. But we knew it was going to be a competitive league. That's why I think some of the coaches, when asked on media day what they thought about the poll, they all kind of chuckled, because if you guys can predict who's going to finish first to last, that's pretty good. Because we can't. It's just, you got to grind it out. You got to focus on, daily improvement and one game at a time. I know it's cliche, but if you don't do that in our league, you're going to find yourself behind the 8 ball.
It's sort of to piggyback off that, coach. You mentioned how important it is to win on the road, and you guys picked up 3 points this weekend. The value of winning on the road. I mean, obviously you're expected to defend your home ice, but going on the road and picking up points, I mean, how critical is that when a league has this much parity?
Well, it's very critical, and it's critical to just gain points every weekend, no matter where you're at. So if you can grind away and find a way to get points on the weekend, you're going to find yourself in a good spot come February and early March. So I think that's the goal for everybody in our league, is to just continue to grind away and find a way. I'm exhausted on Sundays. I don't know how the other coaches feel, but it is such a grind to play in our league, and just from making adjustments to making sure that our guys are ready to go and play at a high level. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. Thanks, guys.